The next portion is module 2 around packing your bags. So, as you're listening or watching, please get out a piece of paper because I'm going to ask you to build your own pre-flight checklist. So as you probably know, anytime a plane flies, there is a whole crew that checks everything out before the plane even gets to disconnect from the terminal and start running down the runway. It's helpful to have a pre-flight checklist so you know that you've covered your bases to help optimize this experience and minimize your risks. So the first portion, which I call packing your bags, is what do we want to do to kind of get ready? This is just before you might choose to journey. So you'll want to find the best time. That's one of the things on the checklist. When is this best time for you? I think it's really important to give yourself the gift of spaciousness if you're going to use these medicines. Even if you're using something as fast acting as ketamine, even in a legal context, it's nice to have a little time cushion. You would not, but it is difficult to have a really profound psychedelic experience and then be expected to go hang out with all your family and friends the very next morning, or maybe the next day is the day that you're packing your house up and moving to a whole new location, right? So if you can give yourself a little bit of soft space in which to have this experience, it's ideal. I understand that's not realistic for everyone, but the more spaciousness you can give yourself, the more value that you will be able to experience in this process. So check your calendar. When is a good time? When might you be able to give yourself that space of the length of the journey, as well as the next day to kind of putter around, be in that liminal space that you can kind of come back to consensus reality after being there. You can kind of harvest the fruits of that experience. So that's the first part that I would suggest in the pre-flight checklist. When is the right time for you? And then next, so just one other thing, you want to make sure that you have liberty to have no responsibilities the day of or the day after if possible. So the next thing is to prepare your environment, especially if you're doing this at home versus maybe getting an Airbnb somewhere, or staying at, I don't know, a retreat center, or a friend has a yurt in the woods or something. You want to prepare your environment. And this isn't like the right before preparation. This is the bit of the longer term preparation. So if you were planning on traveling, right? If you were just going to take a trip, I don't know, to the coast for a few days, let's say, how might you prepare your home for that trip? What I mean is you want to get your environment set up with your future self in mind. I don't think anyone likes going on a trip and coming home to a refrigerator full of rotten food and a messy bed with clothes strewn everywhere and just everything feeling chaotic. So if you can take some time to get your energetic space cleared, perhaps, would you like fresh linens on your bed? Would you want to empty the dishwasher? Would you want to get your garbage out? Would you want to have some food available so that when you maybe are in that soft, quiet landing space afterwards, you don't have to go out to the store, or you don't have to eat takeout if it doesn't sound appealing to you. Like you don't have to necessarily interact with the world. You can just stay kind of cocooned. I like to imagine that you might even be postpartum in a way, right? So how might you take really sweet care of yourself there? You might also think about simple things like having tea, having enough Kleenex and toilet paper, just having some of those things on hand so that you don't have to run out in the middle and then be like, no. And then, of course, when you're getting close to go, just check in with your ground control support people so they know, okay, I know to be on alert. I'm going to be around that time. I'll keep my phone nearby or whatever it is. So you can align it up with the ground control crew.